The story of the ancient Greeks begins long before democracy. It starts with the Mycenaeans. They lived in mainland Greece from around 1600 to 1100 BCE. The Mycenaeans were powerful warriors. They built grand palaces surrounded by massive stone walls. These walls were so large that later Greeks believed only giants could have built them. The Mycenaeans were skilled artists and craftsmen. They created beautiful gold jewelry and weapons. They also developed a system of writing called Linear B. This script helps us understand their lives and beliefs. We know they worshipped powerful gods and goddesses, much like the Greeks who came after them. The Mycenaeans were a dominant force in the Aegean world. They traded with other civilizations, including the Minoans on the island of Crete. However, their world collapsed around 1100 BCE. The reasons for their decline remain a mystery. Some scholars believe it was due to internal strife, while others point to invasions or natural disasters. Whatever the cause, the fall of the Mycenaeans marked the end of an era in Greek history. After the collapse of the Mycenaean civilization, Greece entered a period known as the Dark Ages. We don't have many written records from this time, but we do have stories. These stories were passed down orally for generations. They tell of heroes and their deeds. The most famous of these stories are the Iliad and the Odyssey. These epic poems are attributed to a blind poet named Homer. The Iliad tells the story of the Trojan War, a conflict between the Greeks and the Trojans. It is a tale of love, war, and the wrath of Achilles, the greatest Greek warrior. The Odyssey follows the journey of Odysseus, a cunning Greek hero, as he tries to return home after the Trojan War. The Homeric epics were more than just entertainment. They provided the Greeks with a shared history and a set of values. These values included courage, honor, and hospitality. The epics also introduced the Greeks to their pantheon of gods and goddesses who played an active role in the lives of mortals. Around 800 BCE, Greece began to emerge from the Dark Ages. This period saw the rise of the polis, or city-state. The polis was more than just a place to live. It was a community of citizens with its own government, laws, and customs. Athens and Sparta were two of the most powerful Greek city-states. They had very different ways of life. Athens was a democracy, where citizens participated directly in government. Sparta was a military state where citizens were trained from birth to be soldiers. The rise of the polis led to a flowering of Greek culture. Art, literature, and philosophy thrived in this new environment. The Greeks also began to explore the world around them, establishing colonies across the Mediterranean Sea. Athens was a unique city-state. It was here that democracy, a government by the people, was born. Athenian democracy was not perfect. Only free men born in Athens could vote. Women, slaves, and foreigners could not. One of the most important figures in Athenian democracy was Solon. He was a wise lawgiver who reformed Athenian society in the 6th century BCE. Solon created a system where all citizens, regardless of wealth, had a say in government. He also established a set of laws that were fair and just. Another important figure was Pericles. He was a brilliant statesman who led Athens during its golden age in the 5th century BCE. Under his leadership, Athens became a center of art, literature, and philosophy. The Parthenon, a magnificent temple dedicated to the goddess Athena, was built during this time. Section 5. Sparta, a city of warriors. Sparta was another powerful Greek city-state. Unlike Athens, which valued democracy and the arts, Sparta was a military state. Spartan citizens dedicated their lives to military training and discipline. Spartan boys began their military training at the age of 7. They lived in barracks and endured harsh conditions. Spartan men were expected to be courageous and selfless warriors. They fought in a unit called a phalanx, a tightly packed formation of soldiers armed with spears and shields. Spartan women also played an important role in society. They were expected to be strong and healthy, capable of bearing strong sons for the Spartan army. Spartan women had more rights than women in other Greek city-states. They could own property and even run businesses. Section 6. Setting sail, the age of Greek colonization. Beginning in the 8th century BCE, the Greeks began to establish colonies across the Mediterranean Sea. They sailed east to the shores of Asia Minor, west to Sicily and southern Italy, and even as far as France and Spain. There were many reasons for Greek colonization. One reason was overpopulation. As the population of Greece grew, there was not enough land to support everyone. Colonies provided new opportunities for those seeking land and a fresh start. Trade was another important factor. The Greeks established colonies in strategic locations to control trade routes and access valuable resources. These colonies became important centers of commerce, connecting Greece to the wider Mediterranean world. The Greek colonies were not merely outposts of the motherland. They developed their own unique cultures and identities, influenced by both Greek and local traditions. However, they maintained close ties with Greece, sharing a common language, religion, and cultural heritage. Section 7. Lawgivers and tyrants shaping Greek society. During the 7th and 6th centuries BCE, many Greek city-states experienced periods of political and social upheaval. In some cases, wise lawgivers like Solon in Athens were appointed to reform the legal system and address social injustices. In other cases, powerful individuals known as tyrants seized control of the government. Tyrants were not necessarily cruel or oppressive rulers. In fact, many tyrants were popular leaders who championed the rights of the common people. However, they ruled outside the traditional constitutional framework, which often led to instability and conflict. One famous tyrant was Pisistratus, who ruled Athens in the 6th century BCE. Pisistratus was a popular ruler who implemented policies that benefited the poor. He redistributed land, provided loans to farmers, and sponsored public works projects. However, his rule was marked by factionalism and political unrest. Section 8. A meeting of minds, philosophy and the arts. The rise of the era of colonization created a fertile ground for intellectual and artistic innovation. This period witnessed the birth of philosophy, a new way of thinking about the world and our place in it. Greek philosophers sought to understand the universe and human nature through reason and observation. Thales of Miletus, considered the father of philosophy, believed that water was the fundamental element of all matter. Pythagoras explored the relationship between mathematics and the natural world. Greek art and architecture also flourished during this period. The Greeks developed new techniques in sculpture, painting, and pottery. They created beautiful and enduring works of art that celebrated the human form, mythology, and everyday life. The Parthenon in Athens stands as a testament to the architectural genius of the ancient Greeks. Section 9 to Conclusion. The enduring legacy of ancient Greece. The story of the ancient Greeks is a journey from the grandeur of Mycenae to the birth of democracy in Athens. It is a tale of heroes and warriors, philosophers and artists. The ancient Greeks left an indelible mark on Western civilization. Their ideas about democracy, philosophy, art and architecture continue to inspire us today. From the plays of Sophocles to the philosophy of Socrates, from the Parthenon to the Olympic Games, the legacy of ancient Greece is all around us. Their story is a reminder that even small city-states can achieve great things, and that their ideas can resonate across centuries.